Five of Wands in the spiritual aspect of yourself. This is like climbing the spiritual ladder into understanding who you are. Um, it may feel like you're having those who are like not doing it, or like kind of doing it, or a little less than you, just chilling, hanging out, and thinking they've got it covered, and you're like, no, man, there's more to life than this. Um, Reaching that inner flame, inner fire, passion of who you truly are. Potentially conflict with yourself, trying to figure it out, trying to be who you think you are, but maybe you're not quite who you think you are. It's like you're fighting yourself in this. See, like there's two reaching for it, two different sides of yourself, because you're a fish. Pisces, two fishes, right, going in opposite directions potentially. So, but realize that you're both reaching for the same thing. Both, not you, like not both like different people, but like both sides of who you are, kind of the shadow and the light, right? Um, Carl Jung mentions the shadow aspect of yourself. To be aware and understand that, you have to have great insight into your um, flaws, I guess you could say, or understanding that those aren't necessarily who you are. They're just potential mistakes, maybe, or part of the process of understanding who you spiritually are. Queen of Swords in reverse for your intellectual aspect of yourself. This represents sharp and sometimes cold communication. Strive to use your words wisely and to refrain from being mean or emotional. Indifference, a message to use your head more than your heart, and use your heart less. Aloofness or bitterness. So you might be a little straight to the point, not putting a lot of thought into sometimes. Um, some might see you as being mean, or not. You're not being typically yourself, and you're like, hey, this is part of my spiritual growth. I got to, kind of just cut to the point for me now. I'm sorry. But don't forget to dip into the cups of emotions from time to time. But you have no cups here at all, so you're not feeling it. Um, you don't have to be in your heart all the time. This is more like, hey, state your purpose, state your cause, but then after you've done that and you're still communicating later in the conversation, maybe show a little bit of emotion or compassion. Not a lot, not like overindulge, not like pour your heart out or nothing like that. Just a little bit, right? Just a tiny little bit. But I think this is actually potentially good, even though it's in reverse. Um, for Pisces in August, I think this is how you need to address things that may come up or may think for the month of August. This is potentially how you may want to behave intellectually, or how you think. We'll get into this one. Nine of Pentacles in the physical aspect of yourself. It's in reverse, which can represent a need to evaluate your relationships. Also in work, can indicate material success while feeling alone. It could be showing that you're a workaholic. The realization that money alone will never be enough. Financial delays. The pressure to appear more successful than you really are. It's pressure, not you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to be this good when I'm not right now. You know what I mean? So this is how you want to be, but it's upside down. So you're like reaching for it, and you feel like you have it, but you really don't, right? I tend to think of an obstacle course kind of thing with your financial or materialistic or your physical environment with home, or work or travel, anything that has to do with the 3D realm or the physical realm, is kind of like exhausting, to say the least, potentially. Maybe that's why you have the Queen of Swords in reverse for your intellectual. You're like, I don't feel like dealing with the bullshit. The heart, emotional stuff has not really gotten me anywhere I need to be, or has gotten in the way, or is causing hindrance on what I'm trying to accomplish. I say focus on what you need to do, whether it's get a new job or improve the job or get a promotion or whatever that may be, um, and just strive for a spiritual connection with the intellectual. Like, I'm not dealing with your problems. I got my own, right? Five of Swords is your social aspect of yourself, conflict, unfair advantage, experiencing loss, the need to build your skills and your confidence, hollow victories. There's the losses or the negative experiences that you may have had with the social aspect of your life is it doesn't define your whole life, right? It's just a chapter in the book of your life. It's just a phase, right? Realizing that's why you're also with swords once again. You're like, dude, I gotta focus. I'm tired of feeling this way. Never more, never more. And you're like, it's driving you nuts. And you want to get on. You're thinking about being on top of that mountain and going up into heaven, or not necessarily spiritually heaven, but like connecting to heaven, or connecting with the universe, or whatever it is that you believe in. Connecting with God, maybe. It's up to you, right? Freedom. That's what I believe in. So, just a reflection of what you're dealing with, and understanding the connection between all five aspects of yourself. Being aware of that is your strength for you in August. Nine of Wands and the emotional aspect of yourself. This can represent determination, resilience, defiance, the last defense, the final push, excitement for what's to come, finding motivation in the face of difficulties. So your heart is in harmony with your mind and your gut, your spirit, right? Down here, your heart is like, yeah, be proud of who you are. Success is around the corner. You're about to make it. Nine of Wands is right before 10 of Wands. You're almost got the fence built. You've done a lot of work. You're almost done. The whole land that you built your fence around was a lot, but it's your land now, and you built it. So you feel proud in your heart. You have pride in your heart of who you are. So I don't see a lot of conflict potentially with the five aspects of yourself. It's just more of realizing you need to be who you need to be, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm sure it does for you. You know better than anyone else of who you are, right? So knowing that you have accomplished so much, or you've been through so much, or you've had so much experience, finding that solution that you're seeking to like maybe she needs more wood or whatever. She's like, dang, I need a little bit more wood to finish this fence. I'm almost there, but I'll figure it out. I'll get that wood. I know where to get some, maybe. We'll see. Somebody will show up that has wood, whatever it may be. Also, spiritual. So it's a spiritual connection to the universe, saying, "Hey, you do the work. I'll provide. I'll get you that wood that you need." Born with a gift. You, dear one, have been given something beyond price, rare and treasured, magical beyond compare. This is the gift of true treasure, an egg of knowledge within which is sealed thousands of memories and messages from the wise ravens. When this card comes to you, know that you are being given the gift of time to be used wisely and the gift of knowledge and wisdom to be applied. And that you are being asked to treasure this and to no longer consider your own gifts to be less than those of others. You are a keeper of the treasures, and your words and your thoughts and the energies which you will now share with the world are multiplying and gathering power in every moment. You have thought of yourself as small, yet you are immense in influence. You have thought of yourself as insignificant, and yet you have powers that can be shared and used for good for all time. And you have thought of yourself as unworthy, and yet you have been given the gift of the raven's treasure. And the ravens are amongst the most intelligent and wise of the flying ones. Now know that you are the caretaker of this bright gift of your life. Begin to release the treasures that you have been holding so tight. Believe in your own worthiness and begin to share what you have with others. You are prosperous, and the more that you give and share and offer, the gifts that return to you will prove to you that you are gifted with a true prosperity, a lasting wealth, and the ability to recall and remember the gifts of time. Most of all, dear one, no longer waste your time. Enter into the treasure of this gift immediately. No more hesitation, and when it comes to you, as it will, share. Seventh house, partners. Marriage is neither heaven nor hell. It is simply purgatory. Abraham Lincoln said that. Findings, whether emotional and domestic, or lawful and what is right or permissible, are indicated now. The seventh house is the area of the chart that represents the other since it is opposed to the first house of the self. Traditionally, it has been thought to be the house of marriage and marriage partners, and although this may still be the primary meaning, the other can also include friends and family and peer groups, so it can mean significant others such as coworkers. Since it's the traditional house of Libra, it governs fairness, balance, in the law. It is also the house of the open enemies. When the seventh house card presents itself in a reading, it usually means one of two things: either issues dealing with partners or significant others, or court cases and legal issues. This card itself is neutral, much like the actual seventh house, which strives for balance, so the surrounding cards will indicate the basic meaning, whether positive or negative or something in between. The Pisces or Neptune cards nearby would imply that a relationship could be slowly dissolving or fading, much like a shoreline with the sea erasing names written in the sand. Misinformation or lying could be a part of it. If the card is referring to a court case or legal issues, it's not a good time for that. The end result may not be what is hoped for, or is one that might drag on, again ending over time in a dissolving way with no real closure. The Scorpio or Pluto cards closed by the seventh house card would indicate power struggles, and even ruthlessness would figure in. There could be issues of domination and control with these two cards. This could apply to partnerships and legal rulings. The Venus or Libra cards nearby would sweeten this up with a great deal. So it would be the Sun card would be the most positive to have with this card. Uranus and Aquarius cards close to this card can indicate dispassionate or odd partners, maybe even bisexual lovers, or those from an entirely different background. Or a court case could get disrupted or have an unusual or totally unexpected result. The Taurus or Cancer cards surrounding this card would indicate a full heart blessing in your romantic or domestic partnerships. It could also denote coming out well in a financial or at least a material way in a court case. On a mundane level, the seventh house card can mean an engagement or marriage or relationship moving to the next level, as in a partnership becoming more settled and gaining maturity. It can also imply getting ready for a more serious relationship. In the case of dysfunctional or unhealthy relationships, you can look to surrounding cards to see how they will fare in the near future. Purification. Cleanse your environment and personal space. Water is deeply cleansing and purifying, which is why it's used in symbolic practices throughout the world. Water is a universal life force and symbol of purity and fertility, often seen as life itself. Without water, we could not be able to exist in our physical form. Water sustains all life on earth. Water cleanses, quenches thirst, and refreshes all living systems. Purification as a symbolic practice brings us closer to our divine self and celestial and heavenly beings. Sacred traditions and practices wash away impurities from the soul and pollutants from the physical body. Purity allows us to see and hear the voice of truth and keeps our ego's self in check. Right now, your body, mind, and spirit need to be purified. Clear unwanted energy by focusing on emotional balance. Eat clean, nutritious food. Now is the time to open your heart and soul to release any old trauma, pain, or emotional wounds, suffering, or regret that you are carrying in your spiritual backpack, like a universal baptism. You are able to release these old energies and liberate your soul and mind from old beliefs and physical restraints. Cleansing of your physical space is required now. Call in your angelic or spiritual helpers to assist you energetically with this task, at home, work, or socially. Clean your home environment or workspace. Remove or denote any outdated or unwanted items. Clearing old stagnant energy. Water is a conduit for clear channeling, and spirit communication. You may be feeling disconnected from spirit or your higher self. Spend time around running water such as lakes, waterfalls, or streams to purify your mind. Treat yourself to spa therapies or therapeutic baths to reset your senses. Be mindful during the moments you choose to spend time in and around water. Your observations and impressions will give you great insight into your current emotions. Affirmation. I purify my soul. I release burden and expectation of choices. I am free to make my own decisions with love and confidence. Hey there, Pisces. 5 aspects of yourself. September reading 2021. Pisces, September of 2021. Four of Wands in reverse for spiritual. Knight of Cups in reverse for intellectual. Two of Swords in reverse for physical. The Hierophant for social. And the Empress in reverse for emotional aspect of yourself. Foxfire Kitsune message for Pisces, September of 2021. Tending the future. Black Moon message for Pisces, September of 2021. Fifth house, creativity. Sacred power message, Pisces, September of 2021. Protection.